pista.
That's a little bit of a different one.
They're always different.
It's pista. Well, the bams are different. There's usually not like.
Oh yeah, we're in front of it.
Yeah.
It's pista.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It makes sense. Well, Anthony, I think we're back again for 64 bits of rage. You can't break out the backup ever. No.
Beep,
Oh,
boop,
God.
boop, boop. You said I couldn't do the beep, boop, boop, so I was doing the beep, boop.
You get nothing.
Wow. Well, I'll just record it when you're not here and add it in.
Oh. I forgot you know how to do that stuff.
Yeah. Just me for 10 minutes straight, but like every time you start to talk, I'll just cut in, cut out your thing. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Then back to whatever I'm saying.
April Fool's one right there. That'd be fucking funny.
That would be when you listen to it. You're
It's like,
what
what
the
the
fuck? Every episode has been like that, like this entire time. You've never known.
It's just about you, just talking quietly to yourself.
Like, Animal Crossing, new boop, beep, boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree, but that'd be great. If nobody has any idea what you say ever.
Oh, I feel like that's my opinion most of the time.
Oh, that's not true. That's bullshit.
Let's get dark, yo. All right.
Yeah, don't forget to deprecate self-hatred.
This is so true. Okay, what is this episode about?
What did I said? I was doing a little jingle and I said something about like they might as well bury me 6 feet deep because I'm a coffin. I was like, yeah, I'm sure that's been used.
Well, I don't think that's what this episode's about. But...
No, but we were getting dark, so that's why the black lung popped.
Oh, okay.
Popped into my head.
Okay, now what's the actual episode about?
This is episode 4 of 64 Bits of Rage. It's got a lengthy title, but I was trying to make it a little more like all-encompassing to make sense. Because we had kind of a loose idea. Mm-hmm. So it's mild complaints about Nintendo franchises and characters. which I just like. Mild complaints about. I feel like I'm going to save that half of it for like the title to a novel. Mild complaints about
Anthony's life.
Yeah, and it's a memoir. Complaining about your own life.
I was born in November 1990. Oh,
a small black child. I wasn't born in the same decade as you.
I know. 1998. That would make me a really big weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just yeah. What about the Cougars, yo? Fine. Okay, back to our actual podcast.
You're gonna be 7 years older.
Yeah, no, so it's not that weird.
No, not now.
No, yeah, especially
because I'd be like in my early 20s, you'd be in your late 20s. That would be it.
Fair enough.
I'd be like 23 to 30.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah, 22 to 29.
Touche. So with this 64 bits, because I have my mild complaints of Nintendo.
I'm Anthony Schultz.
I'm Ariel You're such a dick. When Anthony disappears from the podcast, you won't be surprised why. You see Ariel on the episode of Snap.
How?
Your ghost. Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. Oh, god damn it.
Record an episode by yourself and it's still recorded over with that.
Son of a bitch! That was just you laughing at that.
But yeah, this episode is pretty much designed around Ariel's like fiery hatred for the new Zelda and what Pokemon has become. I will interject with other complaints that I have, but they truly will be mild. It'll be very Donkey Kong Country Returns is not. That's on the last episode. Yeah. Where is my Super Smash Bros. DLC release information? These are my complaints.
No, and the reason I feel like they're my complaints, like we kind of briefly grazed over last podcast, was I had this huge chunk of nostalgia for Pokemon and Zelda.
Yeah, of course.
They honestly have been very similar games, and they have so many games. They've just been track-wise, playing-wise. Yes, they develop in cool techniques or 3D platformer or 3D. They've developed, changed that way, obviously with the times, you know, the from top-down platformer to, you know, 3D side-scroller and stuff like that. But they've all been relatively linear. Like with Pokemon, you go catch the Pokemons, you do challenges, you defeat the gym leader, you defeat the head honchos, And, you know, sometimes you have a side character you got to defeat, too, as well. Like, you're...
Yeah, that's more like a side quest. But, yeah, my experience is only with Pokemon Red. But, yeah, it was fairly linear. Like, it was like, oh, you do this, or you get this item, kind of Metroidvania-ish. And then, like, yeah, you go to this next town or gym leader or whatever. And then here's an open area where you can get some Pokemon, and then here's the next town. Like, so on and so forth until you climb a mountain and defeat 4 gym leaders or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So always got to climb a mountain. But, and it's like the same with Zelda, you know, regardless of how Zelda, like Link's character or Zelda character, or the princess are portrayed, either vice versa, they'll always have kind of a linear thing. You know, there's this evil dude, you got to defeat the evil dude, whether you are roped into it, you're destined to do it, or something along those lines. You got to develop these skills, you got to get these people. You gotta go to these old cool lands, the Gorons and all that. It's always been that way, and the story has changed, yeah, which is cool. But then it's like, you bust out this fucking open RPG world with Zelda, and it's like, what in the fuck is this shit?
It was a lot different than the other, like, Zelda games. I read an article before we started recording.
Seems like I read an article.
Yeah, because I read a lot. Where it was the creators of Breath of the Wild, and they were talking about how the interviewer was asking good questions. They kind of pussyfooted around it a little bit. But about why this one was so different. And they said, like, the one area that they really focused on and what kind of propelled them to make Breath of the Wild so different was exploration. Okay. Exploration and puzzles. That's really all that they wanted to keep from the, like, previous games. Entries. Yeah. Like, they wanted it to be so focused on that that's why it became open world, and there wasn't much tutorial or guidance. And
well, I feel like you should just need to develop a different completely game then. Don't call it Zelda.
True. I mean, we're even getting, like, an Assassin's Creed, like, Skull and Bones. Yeah. So it's like they spun off a lot of the ship stuff, and
it's just Skull and Bones now, I think, called.
Yeah, some part of that is in, like, the main canon Assassin's Creed, but as far as, like, what we're gonna get, as far as in depth, they're focusing on that style of gameplay. It's gonna be in Skull and Bones. So.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, I get maybe tiptoeing around it being Link, or you can even do, like, a Descendant of Link or something. Just don't call it a fucking Zelda game, because it's not. Yeah. In my opinion. And maybe me just holding on to that nostalgia, but if I wanted a goddamn open RPG world, I'll play fucking Fallout or some shit like that. Fallout 76 or the Skyrim, what are they called?
Oh, Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls. Yeah. There are games out there that Skyrim. I want to play that have that availability. When I think of Zelda, I don't think of fucking open world or RPG or any of that shit. I don't like, well, you can play this game and just go straight to the fucking boss and try to defeat him. No.
Well, that's an old RPG kind of thing, though, because, like, Chrono Trigger did that, too, where you could go straight to the end boss and try to defeat him.
It's not Chrono Trigger. It's Zelda.
Chrono Trigger's better.
You know what? We'll do fisticuffs.
And this is where, like, you and I disagree. Like, I agree in the sense that Breath of the Wild really isn't a Zelda game. Yeah. Like, but for me, I stopped even further back with, like, that top-down...
Yeah, because really you like the top-down old school games, and when they try
with 3D, I kind of lost interest, and then I didn't have those consoles at the time too, so it was like I kind of missed the boat as everybody else was sailing off. I was on the shore waving. I was Samwise Gamgee, like, bye, Frodo.
Yeah, you were the dinosaur on the Noah's Ark. Oh shit, was that today?
Yeah, pretty much. So I missed out on a lot of the 3D Zeldas and stuff, so I don't have fond memories of them. I don't have any memories of it. I've dabbled in them later, but yeah, since they stopped doing those
top downs,
we got A Link Between Worlds, which I really enjoyed. That was on the 3DS, and then we got Link's Awakening, which just remastered for the Switch, which I want to play. But that kind of style of Zelda
game
has died. But it is, like, becoming, like, old enough that they're bringing it back in some ways. Yeah. So hopefully we'll reach a point where the nostalgia for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask will present itself. That'd be cool. They freaking remastered See, and they just did, though, for the 3DS. That's the thing.
No, I meant, like, remake.
It would be cool. Time. Yeah, if they did, like, complete remakes like Final Fantasy.
Or even Resident Evil. Oh, dude,
Resident Evil is a good example, too. Yeah.
Oh, my God, that'd be so cool.
It'd be really cool.
Oh, hey, Nintendo, if you're listening.
Yeah, do this.
Do this.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. Yeah, if they redid Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, which are, amongst Zelda fans, are, like, the most beloved.
Yeah,
those two in particular. that would be awesome.
Well, the other thing
like
too,
Resident Evil 2, and then 3 is coming out. So.
Yeah, it's like I know you said you missed the boat because you like the top-down ones, but if you played the 3D ones, you'd be fine with it because it's still a Zelda game. It's just a different.
I probably would have, to be honest, if I played it at the time. But yeah, like you said, if I had played those and grown up with them, and had been in a Nintendo kid or a Nintendo 64 kid in particular. Even GameCube, really.
Yeah.
I probably, I would associate that with Zelda, or equally associate it with the old ones. I just didn't have those consoles at the time, so I don't really have that nostalgia for it, and they're a little bit difficult to play, even the remasters for the 3DS, and so it just didn't get its hooks into me. Similarly to, actually not similarly, but like. The opposite of what Pokemon, like playing that one, I was like, oh, I get this. I'm really into this. I like this game a lot. This has a lot of awesome RPG mechanics. And I get the gameplay loop, even though I was playing.
An old ass game.
Yeah, I was playing, Pokemon Red in my late 20s on the 3DS.
Red was let out. I let it out. Who let the dogs out?
Is it like 95, 96?
I'm looking it up.
Maybe 94. But that one got his grips at me. Like I really
1996, December 28th, 1996.
Oh, I guessed it right away.
Yeah.
That's awesome. A franchise I know little about. I can still peg when the first one comes out. Which is funny when you think about it, because that's a year before Final Fantasy VII came out.
That is true.
Yeah. Very seminal RPGs, both of which.
They really are. I fucking love Pokemon games. This is why I'm so, like... We're still on Zelda, but
yeah, fair. We'll and I do have a goal to play through Breath of the Wild this year.
Yeah, and I know that.
That's a Switch goal of mine, so I can say
I did it.
Whether I like it or not, I can be like, I played through it once. I liked it because of this, and this, or I disliked it. I didn't like it because of this, and this. So.
Well, and it's like. With that being said, it just kind of sucks because you've even seen me play, because we have the 64 still hooked up, Ocarina of Time and stuff.
Yeah, and I
played a little bit, yourself. I mean,
I played it on 3DS because the remaster.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying when you play it on nostalgia reasons.
I hate that fucking controller.
I love it.
There's a minor complaint for Nintendo right there for me. This is not like a franchise or a character, but I fucking hate that controller. It's awful.
It's great.
I'd rather use the Dreamcast controller, which is bulky as shit too.
You're bulky.
That stupid little. What is that? That's meant for if you have 3 hands. It's not meant for humans. And 64 was designed for Martians.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. I just don't understand.
My favorite Martian.
Yeah.
I remember that movie.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
I like the more classic gamepads, like the Super Nintendo one and the NES. So it's I have difficulty playing the 64. I played a little bit of it at a friend's house. We played GoldenEye and stuff. I barely remember that now.
No, I know, and like I said, this is where you and I differ from. I was Nintendo growing up, not PlayStation. Forgotten we did have it as well because
that was Sega and then PlayStation.
But it's because my brother he played PlayStation and stuff like that, but we didn't get I don't think a PlayStation 1 until way later.
I didn't either. It was like the same year that the PS2 came out.
Yeah, because it was cheaper. That's when he did too, I think, or he got the PS2 because
it was like $100 at Walmart or something, and my parents bought it. So.
I think it was the PS2 actually. I think he convinced my mom to get it because he said it's a DVD player.
Yeah, which was a huge selling point. Same with the PS3. It was a Blu-ray player, so
exactly. Well,
it didn't work as well with the PS3. But.
Fair enough. But with Zelda, though, like we're saying, it's frustrating in its own right because it's been such a linear game and linear development, obviously with the times, than to just go fucking straight left field with the game.
It is a lot different because it's you get the older ones that I like, which are a stark difference to the NES ones.
Yeah.
And then you get the 3D ones. You get, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, even Wind Waker, which the art aesthetic's different, but it's the same style game.
Yeah, 3D still.
Skyward Sword. And they're all those 4 in
Dawn Princess, something?
Twilight Princess.
That's what
that was the one that crossed from the GameCube to the Wii with motion controls. All 5 of those are relatively the same.
That's what I mean.
Except they tweak Twilight Princess to have motion controls, and
yeah,
art style in Wind Waker is a little bit different. But they're all just 3D Zeldas.
Like. They are, and they all have that still linear kind of game, linear story. You know, straightforward. You can explore a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
You can do some side quests sooner than others, but if you don't have a certain equipment or tool or weapon, you can't get past this point.
Yeah.
And it's like with fucking
very Metroidvania.
Yeah, very. I just piggybacked off of your word. My brain's like, grab it. I don't know why. But with Breath of the Wild, it's just not. It's not a Zelda game.
It's so different.
It's like you just cherry pick the characters.
Which is kind of funny to think, though, because there's going to be younger gamers that are, like, getting into
and they're
Zelda.
They're going to think that's the Zelda game.
Yeah, and so it'll be more difficult for them to go back and play, like, either older ones or remasters or remakes, because they'll think of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And they'll grow up with probably Breath of the Wild, like Breath of the Wild 2. And
yeah.
this more... Because now we're, like, in the fourth phase of Zelda, really.
We are, yeah.
Because you have the 2 NES ones.
Mm-hmm.
That style is very different.
Yep.
And then you get... The ones that I like, the kind of top-down isometric ones, and then you get the 3D Zeldas, and now we're going to get open-world Zelda.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like we're kind of in the beginning of the fourth phase of what Zelda has become, like, better for worse.
Well, no, and, like, I'm intrigued to see if they take into heart what people complain about with Breath of the Wild into the second one, if they make a second one. I know they're kind of teasing about that one, and Nintendo's pretty good on keeping their lips tight about what they're releasing. But...
Well, and my kind of complaint about Breath of the Wild is a lot of people gave it, like, perfect scores, like, review-wise.
Well,
and
we
then
talked
like,
about that before.
Oh, it's so cutting edge for, like, an open-world game. And it's like, it's not.
No.
Like, it's not cutting edge at all. They're like, well, you get cold when you climb a mountain and stuff. I was like,
yeah,
there's a ton of open-world games
Far Cry Primal.
Yeah.
That's on the PS3.
Yeah, that do that. And
That's
it's
what I
like
mean.
that are long running open world franchises
where you have to get specific clothing or animal fur at that point to go into the mountains, or you'll die or freeze to death.
Yeah, you have to be, around fire or quickly get to the next area where there is fire and
save point fireplace. Yeah.
Or like crafting in open world games. Again, Far Cry does that as well for almost every single one.
Horizon
Zero Dawn
does it too. The cold and crafting and
yeah, she like visibly like shivers and stuff and has like difficulties going up.
She breathes and blows on her hands.
Yeah,
the animation.
The DLC,
yeah,
and she gets special armor in that area to help keep her warm. Mm-hmm. And then you have to craft on the fly constantly. Well, because you bleed through like arrows and your craftable items.
Bear with me one moment. I'm doing some research here. I don't know this off the top of my head because I stopped playing it. I don't think you can craft in Zelda Breath of the Wild. I think you have to find weapons.
Oh, I thought you could, I was more like recipes and stuff like that, like cooking and things like that.
Cooking, yes, but...
I don't know, a lot of the, very novel features that people praised in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, with it, it's no crafting. Okay. Just armor upgrade systems, and you have to fucking find the weapons. So if you break them...
You're kind of boned. You can't even make one on the fly.
You can't even really find them either. They're just not like willy-nilly in a treasure chest. You got to defeat enemies to get weapons, and then...
But you don't have a weapon to defeat an enemy.
Yeah.
So you're kind of stuck.
And it's like you're stuck in this fucking loop, and that's what I kept running into. Like, okay, I've got all these cool weapons. So when you're doing the cool little caverns, the puzzles, like you said, that's what they kept.
The dungeons. Yeah.
The dungeons. And it's trying to show you a cool technique or move, and you break your fucking weapon. You can't finish the dungeon, and then you're also out of weapons, and you gotta go fucking try to find something.
Yeah, that is aggravating. I that's like from what I've seen and heard, it's like people praising Breath of the Wild for like these supposedly like innovative things in an open world game.
Like we've already been doing it.
It's like it's already been around in all these other third party franchises for a long time now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they've been constantly like. Mm-hmm. Updating and upgrading like that style of game. Like this is not doing anything new or different. It's just new to Zelda.
Game? I can't remember. You were playing and you heard it break. Oh, Fallout 76.
In Fallout, you can hear it break. Yeah,
if the tool snaps or breaks or something.
Yeah, your weapons can. Your armor will break
armor
too.
Yeah.
And then you either have to
that just
repair
makes
it with items you have.
Frustrating.
Or use an item.
I don't know if there's a level. I think there is like a level easy, hard, medium mode. But it's frustrating when you're playing even on easy mode. You're trying to defeat these miniature creatures, and you run into one little demons with the fucking pitchforks, and if you don't dodge them right, you're getting skewered. You don't got a weapon. You got to figure out, let me punch you while you got a giant fucking skewer.
It's kind of like when we did our Rage Quit Final Fantasy podcast, where we were talking about Final Fantasy. Like, I like the more like classic and traditional turn-based combat.
Yeah.
Or I'll go so far as to say like 12. I enjoyed how that kind of bridged the gap.
Yeah.
But we both agree that 15 was kind of
Yeah, it was me.
And the combat didn't do anything different or really add to that as well. It's just like if it works, like don't like
break it.
Like, don't break it. Yeah, it's
if
like
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like Final Fantasy has kind of fallen into that trap with 15 in particular. Like 13 didn't do as well, but that was more traditional at least. And Zelda's doing the same kind of thing where it's like, well, these 3D Zeldas worked. These top-down isometric ones worked. Like, why not
keep it that way?
Keep it that way.
And it
which
sucks.
is John's argument for Assassin's Creed. So I can't really knock him on that, even though we differ for that franchise.
Well, yeah, but with that franchise with Assassino, you kind of expect it to go that way. Because of how the gameplay is.
There's so many games, and it already is kind of based in open world action RPG kind of stuff. So for him, like, the stealth is getting phased out, but also in the context of the story, this is what we actually argued about for this month's
You don't need
FGG.
stealth.
Was like, well, it's a precursor to all the assassins, so they're not really stealthy. Like,
no, yeah, they don't really know what stealth is at that point.
Yeah, it's like they are going to be more like combative and like warrior-like, and it's
because they're warriors.
More
it's
of
fucking
action
Egypt
RPG.
and
Greece,
Greece, yeah. Well, and
they're Spartans.
Spartans, yeah.
I mean,
you're gonna pick a Spartans fucking sneaking. No.
It wouldn't really make sense in the narrative, and it's also. In the case of that franchise, well before the Assassin's Creed and the Templars exist.
Yeah,
like,
before any of
with
them.
that name at least, you know, it's like there are still shadowy organizations, but like again, precursors. They haven't led to that yet.
They're building up to it, and that makes sense why they changed it to that. With the Zelda one, there was no even like middle step. There's just fucking.
Yeah, and at least with Assassin's Creed, that's a good point. Like there's a transition from like Syndicate to Origins to Odyssey.
Where it got
more Origins kind of smack dab in the middle there to bridge the two.
But it is.
But Zelda does have that.
No,
it's like,
there's no fucking step towards it.
Yeah, well, you went from Skyward Sword to Breath of the Wild. That's a huge leap. Like,
yeah, it is.
That's gonna throw some people off.
It is, and it's frustrating because it's like, what the fuck? Because like I like Zelda's stories. They're not very in depth stories. It's fucking Zelda.
They're good stories though. And
I didn't get to hear any of the story where you gotta get these cool people, get the armor, and you guys build like a fucking.
It's a very barren world.
Yeah, it is. It's more frustrating too because when you're trying to travel from point A to point B, if you don't have the horse by then, you're fucking hoofing it, and I don't think there's any fast travel either.
I don't know for sure.
I'll double check that real quick. Don't quote me on that. But
it's like playing open world games for me. I want the world to feel like lived in and like rich with like people and characters and different types of people, like tribes and stuff, or villages or cities or whatever. Like Horizon Zero Dawn does a good job of that. There's like there's people everywhere. First of all. Very distinct biomes, but then there's also very distinct tribes that have a history with one another that you don't even get to play through or see, but they talk about it. It's in the dialogue and narrative.
Oh, I guess it's
the only open world game that I can think of that's very barren that I enjoy is Mad Max because it fits the lore.
It's the lore, yeah.
There's very few people left. They're scavengers. Like you're not going to be running into people all the time, and so I get why the world looks dead, why there aren't very many people. It fits the lore. It makes sense.
But with Zelda, it
doesn't.
No, Zelda's never been that way, and it's fucking just
a dead world, yeah. They try to pivot it to make it that way with the narrative, but it just doesn't work.
It's kind of fast travel. It's the shrines, which I remember doing these.
So you can fast travel between the shrines.
The shrines, but the map is so fucking huge. It's pointless. It's so barren and huge. Like if you fast travel, you got to make sure
you're not really close.
You're not really close by.
Yeah, so
you have to complete the shrine to unlock it, and then to be able to fast travel.
That's common in like our open world RPGs.
I don't want that.
No, I know you don't. That's why we're doing this podcast. You can air your grievances.
I like reading this little article. It says, after all, who wants to show up to a new dungeon with 3 apples and a broken sword and 0 arrows?
Exactly.
But it's just kind of frustrating because it's like, I don't mind the fast travel, having the big gaps in between, but at the same time, it's not aesthetically pleasing either. It's not a gorgeous game.
No, and a lot of people said it was, but I don't think it is either. It's very barren.
It's very barren. There's not a lot of animation. There's not a lot of details.
No.
And the shitty part is...
Even in Mad Max, it's like, it's gorgeous in its own right. Mm-hmm. Like, it's mostly sand.
Yeah.
Really. But it's like, you'll come across, like, this old world relic sticking out, or this cracked ship or something. And it's like, that's actually really pretty. Like, and it's
or the freeway or something.
Yeah, that's crumbling. Or, you know, you go into old subway tunnels and stuff. Yeah. Or you see the crazy camps and how they're designed. Like, there is beauty there in the post-apocalyptic setting. Just in a very Mad Max way.
And it's not, and it's very simplistically designed. I can't remember what the art style is with Breath of the Wild. Hold on,
it's not chibi, is it?
I don't think so. Can we go back to my original fucking thing? Thank you. Breath of the Wild art design. Let's see.
All the art style. It's a Mario.
I don't need book artwork. You can keep talking while I'm doing this. I don't care. It's not the... It's just not pretty. It's not. It's got good colors, and like when you're in the villages, it's legit. But it's just like so empty.
Yeah.
It's literally just... And I get, like, there's certain areas you go to.
It was kind of like when Avalanche moved from, like, Mad Max, and then they worked with id a little bit, and they did Rage 2. Rage 2 felt empty.
Yeah.
It was like, the biomes were really pretty, and it was a gorgeous game as far as, like, graphical, like, fidelity is concerned. But it didn't feel lived in.
No.
There were camps and stuff. There's like 3 or 4 of them. But it was just, that one was the same kind of thing. It was like just barren.
Well, it's like even with like the villages.
But luckily the gameplay in that game was like top notch. It was like playing Doom.
True. But even with the villages with people living in them, still the same thing. It's like you get a hand of people just kind of outside. And then it's like you try to go into the shops or the stores so you can actually buy a weapon. And it's like astronomically expensive because they want you to discover and explore and go get weapons. It's like, fuck you. Everything I have is broken. The monsters have long, pointy sticks, and I can't reach them. Give me a fucking sword.
Well, it's like...
Why does it need to break?
If Breath of the Wild did have Zelda attached to it, it would have received the same kind of, like, critical acclaim that Rage 2 did.
It would. If Zelda wasn't
there... Those two games are very similar to one another, actually. Now thinking about it.
Yeah.
And Rage 2 did not do very well. I know why it didn't do very well.
Yeah.
Like, I like those two games mostly because of the gameplay.
So let less people judge it. Take out Zelda.
And then that's the thing. It's like a lot of
it's like with the
reviewers, if it's Mario or Zelda slapped onto it, and then even now with some Sony properties, if certain names are attached to it, automatically going to get like near perfect scores.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, that's a biased review.
Yeah, and it's like what's worse is you can't craft weapons, so you can't repair weapons. So if you have, let's say, a sword nubbin and you just need to collect certain items to fix it, you can't do it. You literally have to hope you can find fucking weapons somewhere. Shields, weapons, anything.
Just to make it.
And that's why it's
Which is like most of the time you're going to be spending.
Exactly. Is trying to get that. Even if you get like a fucking legendary sword, it still will break.
That's why I like more traditional RPGs like Tales of Berseria, which we just started, and older Final Fantasies. Because I feel the same kind of way. Like, you know, we have these two franchises that are... definitely RPGs. So for you, it's Zelda.
Yeah.
You know a lot more about it. You played more of them than I have. For me, that's how I feel about Final Fantasy. And then there's this golden age that you're just kind of trapped in, unfortunately, where it's like, for me, it's the PS1 Final Fantasies. I have not played a Final Fantasy. On 10, I guess, was on the PS2. I'll include that one as well. That series of 4 right in the fucking middle where it's like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and 10. I have not played anything that beats those.
Exactly.
And they're all different in their own right. And they all offer some things better or worse, like, compared to one another.
Yeah, exactly.
But there just isn't. Like, the old ones aren't as good. Like, and some people say they are, but they're not. Like, they're not as good as those generation of Final Fantasies. And the ones afterwards haven't been as good. And Zelda's kind of the same thing, and I think you feel the same way. It's like the ones prior to the 3D ones, like, don't hold up as well. Yeah. And then with Breath of the Wild, like, probably going forward, unfortunately, it's not the same as that golden age of Zelda. Yeah, and probably Ocarina of Time to Twilight Princess.
Exactly.
And it's like...
And it just, like, fucking sucks. It's
because it's your favorite franchise, and you're like, fuck.
I don't play games a lot, and I've iterated this many times in both podcasts. Probably not this one, this is still new. I don't play a whole lot of games.
Yeah.
I have my handfuls of favorites that I like to play.
Yeah,
and
Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Zelda.
That's basically it. A couple of the PS, but PlayStation 4. But I was like, that's literally the only 3 fucking games I ever play. Like, all of my 3DS or 3D games or handheld games or Pokemon or Animal Crossing or Zelda.
Yeah.
It's like, legit, you can go look through it, and there's like maybe 1 or 2 sprinkled in there that family members have gotten thinking I like them, and then I played like 20 minutes, I'm like, I don't want to fucking play this. I want Zelda game. I played this 5 times. We'll play it again.
Well, it's like, for me, I play a lot of games, but I don't know how many copies of Final Fantasy 7 I have, or 8 or 9. Like, if it comes out on a console, like, I buy it.
True.
So it's like I have PS1 Classic for it. I have the original copies for it. I have like the really old Final Fantasies. I have the PlayStation like Anthology and Origins collections of them. I got them for the Vita when they came out, and now I have them for the PS4. I don't get them for the Switch.
Well, and
I even have an old PC copy of Final Fantasy 7.
Just because. You don't play PC games. But and that's same along the lines as we were talking about with Pokemon too, and it's just churning into this weird ass fucking round. It's like I haven't even gotten past Sun and Moon. Thank you. I was thinking Sword, Shield, Sun and Moon. Very similar names. Sun and Moon. I haven't even gotten past the beginning because like I don't need you to show me how to use those gems every fucking time I get one because it's the same fucking button press.
Yeah, that's super annoying. I hate games, and this is of any genre.
It's Pokemon. You walk in the grass and you catch a Pokemon.
That is tutorial heavy.
Yeah. Like, you walk in the grass, you catch a Pokemon. You don't want to be bothered by Pokemon. You get repellent, and you're good for like 15 steps, and you got to replace it and keep going.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like Pokemon fans in particular like know what they're getting into. They know how to play.
It's fucking Pokemon.
Like, even if you add stuff to it, it's not going to be a steep learning curve ever.
No.
And so Pokemon. To have a game like that has like super intense tutorials is crazy because, like I said, on other consoles and other genres and other games, when they do that, it drives me crazy. Where it's like hours and hours of tutorials.
It's like I just want to get to the main game. I don't care.
Sprinkle it in throughout the entire game if you're adding stuff.
Yeah.
Or just give me the gist in the beginning, and then we're good.
Well, it's like I also don't need my goddamn Pokemon detector. Tell me what my Pokemon Pokedex. Thanks, the word I'm looking for. Talking to me. I don't need my fucking Pokedex talking to me.
Yeah.
I don't need saying, I don't know what this one is. Or, hey, look at this. Fuck you, Pokedex. Quit talking to me right now.
I'm trying to think. There's a game I've been playing recently where, like if you fuck it up over and over and over again, where it's like, oh, Mad Max. Mad Max does this. So, like, it gives you, like, the gist of how to play in the beginning, and then it kind of opens it up to you.
Have fun.
But say, like, you're in a fight and you can do like I've unlocked this move where I can do like a special attack if I have an enemy against a wall. If I don't do that like 10 times in a row, like I never use it, then it'll come up and say, hey, do you know that you can like hold down square and like do this special attack against this guy if he's against a wall? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then I'll do it and then I remember. But it only ever comes up if you don't do it.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of. I don't think I played a game.
It's not tutorial. It's a friendly reminder.
It is, yeah, but it's still a tutorial. It's just baked in based on how you play,
but it doesn't,
which is kind of cool.
It doesn't make
because if you do it all the time, it doesn't come up.
True.
So I'm like, cool.
But it doesn't make you stop and refresh. Like, this is how you do it. It just says, hey.
Oh no, it doesn't stop even the action of the fight. It's just like while you're doing it or right afterwards. It's like, oh yeah, you can hold down square and do this. And I'm like, I like a tutorial that does that, where it's like recognizing what actions you're taking while you're playing the game, and then it's obviously crunching data in the background. And it's like, oh, I'm going to prompt the player with this, because he hasn't done this in a while, but he has this move. And it's like, that's like a refresher of a tutorial. And it's like, I like
that's fine. That doesn't bother me at all, but it's like...
No, I like that style. If I had started Mad Max and it was 4 hours of tutorial before I really got to like play or do anything, I would be pissed. Be like, just let me go explore. It's an open world game. Like, let me go do my thing. Let me, I know how to play action adventure games. Like, I'm solid. Like, okay, you gave me Batman combat. I'm good. Like,
Batman.
Yeah, this button attacks, this button counters. Awesome. Like, I don't really need any more. And as I unlock stuff, then you can tell me. I'm fine with that. But
yeah,
don't give me 4 hours worth of tutorials that I either can't use or I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah, here, I'll show you the images. I don't need my fucking Pokedex talking to me.
That's a lame design, too. I like how whoever did that animated like thumbnail has a gun. It might be a good idea to save, bitch, and then it has a gun.
It does that too. It's like, you should probably save. It's been a while since you saved. For granted, I do have that.
Nintendo games do that too. Where they're like, take a break after like 2 hours. Like some of them, and I'm like, fuck you. I'm gonna play. Just let me play my goddamn game. And a little kid's not gonna do it. Right. Get rid of this. Like,
you're right.
Who is this for?
To be fair, the only time I ever read that is when I had my Nintendo. I can't remember which one was the 3D for the 3DS. It wasn't a fold down one. It was just a
like an Advance.
Advance, yes. I had a Game Boy Advance, and of course still had the batteries because old school.
Yeah.
Playing Pokemon.
Like the SP, I think was the first one you could charge.
Yeah, and it was like I was playing Pokemon. Coming out of the bathroom because you're a kid, you know, might as well take it in there. You don't got a cell phone. You got no reading material. Exactly. Pokemon, your video games in there. Walked out, put it on the counter to wash my hands, of course. Or counter after, you know, said things. And then I knocked it down and knocked the batteries out. And I'm like, I don't remember when I saved!
Oh, no.
And I popped the batteries back in.
Is it still there?
Name your Pokemon. God damn it!
Ooh, that's rough.
Like,
we all have that story.
No, I know, but it's like I just got the game, and so I've been playing it.
I do like hard saves religiously, and like games nowadays do auto save like crazy. Like you don't really need to, but I always
just in case,
manually save.
Well, it's like
thank God they still have that option,
right? It was just fucking funny because like I just got the game for my birthday or Christmas or something like that. And of course, I was just engrossed in it because it's Pokemon. Not even thinking about just playing because it's my winter vacation. I don't know, fucking teenager, young kid, and I'm like,
yeah, you're gonna play through it.
Not even thinking about it, and doosh, and it could have fell, of course, and of course the batteries went scattering across the floor. And so learned that one the hard way.
Yeah. I can't think of anything specific, but I know
I
have horror stories about.
I was upset because I was like 5 Pokemon deep, and like I named them after my dogs. I had to make sure I go catch the same types of Pokemon. I named them after my dogs.
Try to make it the like identical playthrough, but in a separate city.
But you really can't because it's not that.
It's not gonna be the same, unfortunately.
Because they're randomized, so you're not gonna really find that same Pokemon in the same spot. You gotta remember.
Had consoles die when I'm in the middle of the game.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I was playing Final Fantasy 13, and I've never finished it since. I got to the very end, console died, so my save was gone.
Yep.
This is before like cloud saves and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Dragon Age, it happened twice.
Oh god.
So that franchise I really enjoy. But I played through the first one on 2 separate occasions, and then it's died. I'm like, fuck this. Like I've never gone back to Dragon Age.
But it's like that's just my big knocks, and like I'm not saying I won't play another Pokemon game. I'm excited to try Sword and Shield. I'm a little apprehensive to get it though.
Yeah, and I'm excited to finally try Breath of the Wild this year. Like,
you know, but it's I feel like with you, like you said, you stopped playing it after the 3D Zeldas.
I might be fine with it. I think I'll probably get through it and I'll enjoy my experience with it. Just knowing myself and the type of games I like to play.
Oh no, the breaking weapons is gonna frustrate you. I know you enough.
However,
you're just playing it. God damn it! It broke again.
I don't think it's gonna be a 10 or up there for me. I just don't think it's honestly this like beacon of hope as a Zelda game. And it's like I think like once we get Link's Awakening, I'll love that one. Yeah, that'll be up there for me.
But it's like with me, I haven't even gotten past really the first part. I'm like near the water tower people, which I'm not supposed to be near. I don't know which way fucking I should need to go because there's no guiding you. There's no suggestion saying, hey, you should probably do this first, but you can go explore other places. It just says, have fun.
Yeah, figure it out on your own. You're like,
I want
you're
a
SOL.
fucking game like that. If I wanted one, I'd play the specific ones that are built like that.
And open world games that do that in particular, like really rough.
There's no guiding at all, and it's so goddamn rough.
I remember first playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and I had never played an RPG of that scope before. Yeah. And it did that. Like, you do like the beginning sequence where it's kind of a tutorial. It's not very long. You're like a lot of Elder Scrolls games. You start out like in a prison and then
escapist.
And that's what happens in the beginning of Oblivion. And then it's like you come out of the like prison, and then it's just like boop.
Okay, what do I do now?
What do I do now? And I had never played a game like that. Like, so I was like,
well, it's jarring when
where do I go and what do I do? Well, like, even if you just had like a thread and it opened up, like, I would be fine. But it was just like. The only thing that you got is, like, there's kind of a visual cue, but you could probably miss it, unfortunately. But there's, like, Cyrodiil, like, the capital city. Yeah. It's, like, very close, and you can see it. So I was like, I guess I'm going here. Like, this looks important. But otherwise, it doesn't come up with a prompt or anything.
No, and
like,
that's what's...
oh, here's your main quest to go do this. Like, and here's this. It's very, very open. Like, it's like, here's a main quest you can do if you want. And then it's like, here's the city that you can see. That's all we're giving you.
Yeah. And that's kind of like
Where
how it
do I
did
go?
too. It's like you had
Where's Sean Bean? I don't understand.
right? It's like with a Zelda game, you get this floating platform when you start out. It teaches you the basics, how to cook, how to do this, and tells you if you get too cold.
How to clean. How to be a dastardly housewife.
Right? And then,
Zelda.
of course, you earn the parachute to guide yourself down.
God damn it. You have to purchase this ride for 10,000 bells in order to fast travel.
Fucking no.
Why are you here?
Get here! and then it's like, after you dive down, you're like, I actually went to the main boss on accident.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna die. And I fucking beat feet out of there. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Why?
You're fucked.
I'm fucked. There's like these big bosses there and shit. I'm like, what is happening? I don't know what to do.
I hate all of this.
And it's like, I haven't gotten past a good 20 minutes in Zelda and the good hour in Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the most I played on those games. They frustrated me so fucking much, I can't get past 20 minutes worth or an hour's worth.
Fair enough.
And it's like, since we got fucking Sun and Moon and Zelda, well, we waited until a little bit. It's for my birthday. When was it in April?
we got it with the Switch, and it was like afterwards.
It was for my birthday. It was like a month.
It was like
so
it was
after.
like a month and a half later.
But with the Sun and Moon, we ordered that first day game release and got the
we got both of them.
metal
we got the
tins because you wanted to play Sun and I wanted to play Moon.
Yeah, and we never really got into it.
No,
I played a little bit of it. I was like,
that's what I mean.
It's not like Red.
Because like Red, and I was like, I'm boasting like, yo, it's, all these games are legit. This is how it's always gonna be, and I'm like, the fuck is this?
This is not like I barely played it.
That's what I mean. I'm like, what the hell? Okay.
I have a 3DS, but
I try to give it time, and I know a lot of people say, well, you got to get past the beginning, and then it will open up to you. I'm like, I get that, but it's Pokemon. I don't need to have 3 hours deep in it before it opens up for me. I need Professor Oak to give me a Pokeball, say walk on the grass. Here's your Pokemon. Have fun. That's all I need. 5 seconds.
You have to snort this line of coke before you talk to your dealer. Why can't I just buy it from him? Do it in the privacy of my own home.
Privacy. No, but yeah, I'm hopeful, but I'm not holding my breath. Either. No, it's frustrating though. So what are your mild complaints, Kenter? I've just been on a tangent.
Oh, I knew. That's why I wanted to design the podcast this way, so you could just like go to town. So I'm fine with that. I'm
still gonna go on a tangent every now and then. It still pisses me off. Spend good hard money on that shit. Fuck that game.
I want more Donkey Kong games. Why the fuck do we have more Donkey Kong games? Like
that's true.
I love Donkey Kong, especially like Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country Returns. Tropical Freeze is awesome. That was on the Wii U. It was like ported over. I want a fucking new Donkey Kong. Like that's what I want.
That is true. It's been a long time since we played Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know.
I think the last Donkey Kong I played was on the 64
though. the one prior to Tropical Freeze that I played was on the Super Nintendo.
Nah.
But yes, I want more Donkey Kong. That's what I want. The ones that I really got into were on the Super Nintendo, and then they've kept them pretty much the same kind of style. They just look better.
Yeah.
They're platformers. But Donkey Kong's one of my favorites. Like, and we just don't get enough. Like, we get regular Zeldas, we get regular Marios. Like, where did Mario come from? Donkey Kong. Why don't we have more Donkey Kong, or at least the same amount? Like, we just don't.
Because he was Red Jumping Man or something like that.
Yeah, he was Jumpman.
Jumpman.
Yeah, it's Mario's father.
Oh, I didn't know it was his father.
Yeah, Jumpman is Mario's father in the Mario lore.
That's legit.
And so, and their last name is Mario. So Mario that we know from Mario Brothers is his name is Mario, and then and then Luigi is Luigi Mario.
They didn't think that one through very well.
Yeah, because Jumpman is their father.
Why'd you do Mario? I feel like you could just go something like legit with the last name, make it Italian, but his name was
Because he was Mario, but it was his last name. Like later.
Oh, okay.
Like Jumpman's, yeah. So then he named his son Mario, so he's Mario, and then he had Luigi, so he's Luigi Mario.
Big slap in the face, Mario.
And then Luigi Mario, who's also named after like his father and his brother. And then Luigi.
It's me, Luigi. Shut up, Green Mario. Oh.
Well, like the only reason that they're different heights is because Mario Brothers 3 was a different game in Japan. It was going to be a different game, and it was about a family.
Okay. So
there was a mother, a father, and then 2 kids, I think. And so all they did was they put the Mario sprites over the top of that original game.
Okay.
So Luigi was the father
Oh,
character,
side,
so
yeah.
he's taller. And then Mario was like the son character,
so
he became Mario. And then I think it's like in
Princess
that
Peach
one,
was probably the mom.
Princess Peach was the mom, and then it was like
Toadstool
was like the other brother
kid,
or something,
yeah.
or like Toadette was. I think it was Toadstool probably.
Yeah.
But so they got mapped over, and that's the only reason that Luigi's taller.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
You're right though. It's been a long time since they did a Mario. Fuck.
No, we have plenty of Marios. We don't have enough Donkey Kongs. This is my point. Everyone's Mario this, Mario that. And I love Mario.
Talking about Mario.
But still, I want more Donkey Kong games. Bring Jumpman back. Zombie Jumpman.
Oh god.
With Donkey Kong.
Oh no.
No, I want a new Donkey Kong, like a proper one for the Switch. Like,
that'd be cool.
Like the one that's on the Wii U that was ported over is really cool. I really enjoy that one. But I like platformers, and in particular that one, I like how it feels.
Yeah.
Like the mechanics are always super cool. Donkey Kong's just like a giant buffoon. I love. He just wants bananas, and he's lazy, but ridiculously strong, which I think is awesome.
Diddy Kong.
Yeah, they have Diddy Kong, Funky Kong. Like they have all these like weird like side characters that are great, and it's just one of my favorite like Nintendo franchises, and we just don't get them enough, in my opinion.
I like how your complaint is they don't make more of it, and then my complaint is they did too much.
You did too much. And then another one that I would have is I want more of like Super Mario World-esque Marios. Yeah. I really like 3D Marios as well, so I don't care if they exist in tandem with one another. Because I have a feeling I really like Odyssey, because I loved Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, yeah.
But I want remakes of like Sunshine and Mario 64, because I never played those.
Mario 64 is fucking bomb. It's
yeah,
cool.
So make like true remakes of them for the Switch.
Yeah.
And then give me more. Again, there's like a port from the Wii U that's like very Super Mario World-esque.
Yeah, yeah.
That like it looks fucking awesome. I love, but I want more of that style.
Yeah, Odyssey again is kind of straying into the weird.
I'm fine. Mario's already weird, and I like Galaxy so much.
Well, it's like
that
Luigi's
I'm like...
got Luigi's Mansion.
And Luigi's Mansion I really enjoyed too. That's another franchise we don't get enough of. Like it's only Luigi's Mansions 3, and it started on the GameCube. Where the fuck are all the other Luigi Mansions? Like, do they run out of mansions in the Mushroom Kingdom? There's only 3.
The Spooksy Ghost.
Or is he going back to the same one?
See me. Oh no, you're looking at me.
And the boos are great. I love the boos. I know a lot about Mario for some reason.
That's no different than me and Zelda. It's okay. But to be fair, I really haven't played any on the Wii, though. I need to dive into those.
So, like, I just wish that there was, like, the main kind of canon of Marios where you get, like, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, then, like, Odyssey.
Yeah.
And that side, or that arm of the Mario franchise would go all the way back to, like, Mario 64.
Yeah.
And then I wish just in tangent we had, like, Super Mario World-esque
type games. Because they could easily branch off.
They did Mario. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, and I hate that one. I don't like that one at all. It's completely different.
Yoshi.
When you're Baby Mario and you gotta shoot eggs and stuff, and the art's all crazy. Like I'm like, this reminds me of like, because a lot of people say that Mario Brothers 3 is like the best one, but I don't like that one.
It's like Little People's World.
Yeah, kind of.
Zip dude.
Yeah.
I remember his name.
Oh, Sackboy.
Sackboy, that's what it is. I'm like
Little People's World.
Little People's
with a zipper.
This is a zipper. You get my yeah, whatever. But no.
But I wish that they had like kind of 2 Mario. I mean, he's popular enough still that they could run like
they easily
2 of them and alternate. Just a little bit more like focus on it. I think would be cool.
Yeah, here.
And then more Donkey Kongs. I already said that plenty of times.
Those
are like big complaints of mine.
You pitched at me for saying Mario, and you want more Mario, and you know what?
I do. There's 2, but we weren't talking about Mario yet. We're talking about Donkey Kong.
Shut up.
I want more Donkey Kong, and I want more Mario style like Super Mario World. Like those are like some big ones.
Side scroller.
I have other ones, but side scrolling like platformers. Yeah,
platformer side scrollers.
And
like
that kind of art style and stuff.
64-esque type thing where it's still like dungeons and side scrolling, but not
I know
necessarily.
the other ones that are similar to that gameplay wise, like their map. I like the map, especially in Super Mario World, where it's like this whole like area, like this continent almost, or 2 continents, and then there's like secret paths you can take. And, You can unlock stuff to go back to other levels to get, do like the alternate ending to that level.
Yeah, get like the stars or whatever.
Nowadays, like the gameplay is like similar, and they have a few of them. There's like one on the 3DS, and then they have the Wii U one that they brought to the Switch.
Yeah.
They have like those worlds still, but it's not like this huge map where you can like see a whole bunch of stuff. It's just like a little area.
Yeah,
and then
weird.
You can go like 1 to 2, level 2, 2 to level 3, and maybe
the little connect the dots.
And then you go to like down to 5, and then you go to like world 2, and it's like, but they're completely like just separate. Yeah. It's not like all together in this all-encompassing world map like Super Mario World was, and I really like that. I would like a even if they call it like Super Mario World 3, because there was a second one in there, they harken back to the original. I think that would be awesome. Like they should.
I feel like honestly, for nostalgia reasons, again, people would honestly buy that game like significantly. And like we said too, plus,
I think so too.
And plus Mario's name slapped on it, so you know it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Mario's gonna sell. Mario suffers from the same effect that Zelda does. Like if those names are attached to a title, it'll usually get like perfect scores or close to it.
Perfect, yeah, pretty much.
Which is crazy.
I think.
Yeah, so more Donkey Kong, more that style of Mario. I'm trying to think. I love their like Switch controller that you got me for Christmas.
Yeah,
like the Pro controllers are really cool.
Pro Switch controller, yeah.
Can't think really how they would improve or they like fuck that up.
I mean, because they even have cordless ones. I just got to do the corded one because it's cool.
Yeah, the only thing that John and I were talking about this the other night was it's a little light because it had rumble support.
It might be with rumble support with the wireless ones.
It could be. I don't know.
What the thing is too, though.
But that doesn't really bother me. But I can see how that would add to it.
Nintendo's
and, like,
not necessarily known for rumbles. You know, they had the additional
haptic feedback or whatever they call it now.
True, they have had the rumble packs and everything, but they're not notorious like PlayStation and stuff like that to have the rumble packs in them.
Very true.
So I can see that bother some since you're so used to the PlayStation why you would like that addition, but at the same time it's not going to bother you.
It didn't really bother me as much. It was just something that John brought up, and I was like, oh, I could see that. Like, that would probably add to it, make it a little bit better. For me, the lightness of it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I like rumble support, but I'm not like, I have to have this. Or, like, if it's gone, I'm, like, freaking out. I'm like,
I need to feel the rumble.
For me, it's mostly, like...
I like the vibrations.
Ergonomics of the controller. So that controller
you got big hands though.
Has a great and that's when we were talking about that. I was like, I've got slender fingers, so I'm skinny, but it was like my hands are good size. So the Joy-Cons were it was too cramped. It was like playing a handheld all the time.
Yeah.
And I can only do that in like bursts as it is. Like I love my Vita, my PSP, but I can't. I want to play the Switch like a traditional console, even though it's a hybrid console, and I just wasn't really able to do that until you got me the Pro controller. And I just, in my head, it's not a handheld. Yeah. Even though it is. Yeah. I don't want to play it like that. I want to play it in my living room on my TV.
Yeah, exactly.
With a good controller.
Well, that's why I got you the controller, and I thought it was pretty cool with nostalgia reasons. I think I got an 8-foot freaking cord, which is better than a 3-foot cord or a 2-foot cord.
They're really like small 3-foot cords that the Sega Genesis had and stuff. They're so short.
And so, I thought that'd be a good, like, kind of nostalgia throwback, so it's on a cord, and it's a better controller for you, for your hand.
It is, yeah. Well, and they have, like, the wired controller has like 2 programmable buttons on it that Sony doesn't even have.
I know, right?
Xbox has an awesome Elite controller, Pro controller. Sony is doing like a back attachment finally. Yeah. So it's cheaper.
True. But it doesn't come with it right away. You have to buy it.
Yeah, you have to spend $30 and you can add the buttons and like an OLED screen on the back, which I will get. I know a lot of people are like kind of hating on that, but I'm spoiled with my Switch controller, so I'm
spoiled in general.
So I'm going to get that for the PS4 controller just for ease of gameplay. Plus switching back and forth, it'll make it easier.
Yeah, it'll be easier transition.
So I can't really knock on that too much. I don't really have a complaint. I think that's like a solid win for Nintendo. I would like to see more like. Not necessarily obscure because they're getting bigger and bigger, but I would like back catalogs of like old games to start coming to the Switch. So like I've talked about it on our other podcast, Rage Quit, but I really like the franchise Yeast. Really hard to get a hold of, like the older games, and they're only on like the PSP or the Vita. I would like to be able to play like all the old Ys games.
That'd be cool.
On the Switch.
I can see that.
And that company has a new partnership with Western publishers now.
Okay.
So that's a feasible kind of thing. Same with like Trails of Cold Steel, which is from the same studio.
More along the lines of accessibility for older games with Nintendo, because obviously with this, if they don't port them, there ain't no way you're playing it.
Exactly. So it's like we're kind of seeing it with like Devil May Cry and stuff, which is
Yeah.
really cool. I'm glad that they're bringing those over.
They're just starting to do that, though. It's a little easier for them to program it and to get it over, not necessarily have a hard copy, because with the Switch, it's back to cartridges.
Yeah, which is a hard copy.
Yeah, it's a hard copy, but it's cartridge.
And there's rumors that they're bringing over like the BioShock collection. I hope that's true. I would love to play BioShock on the Switch again.
Let's play it one more time.
Yeah, exactly.
That was hair.
And so I hope they continue on that trend. I feel like the library's a little bit, little lean.
Yeah.
As far as older stuff, they're getting some of the bigger things.
Yeah, they are getting there. Still, though, I mean, they're pretty slim pickings with old games, because you even get with like the PlayStation. I don't know about the Xbox, but the PlayStation, like a backlog of some older games.
Yeah, they've been pretty consistent about putting out like PS2 classics. They brought a lot of like, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, and 12 are all on the PS4. So you're talking about PS1 to PS2 generation Final Fantasies. And then they brought over a lot of like remasters and collections from the PS3. Yeah. You can get Last of Us, Uncharted. I wish they were just like a little bit more invested in that. Because there's some games, some consoles rather, they're really good. Like, since a lot of people didn't play the Wii U, they're bringing over pretty much like the entire, like the best of the Wii U catalog. They're bringing to the Switch, which is cool. So I didn't play that console. I wish they were a little bit more
like the 64
generous, and doing like GameCube. NES, Super Nintendo. Even if I had to purchase them again, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
They do have like the NES and SNES, like.
Well, they have those little things you can the monthly subscription where they have a bunch of cool.
Yeah, but it's such a limited like.
It is. I think they're leaning towards more doing that though. Like I think
they are too. I think they're getting.
You have to think the Switch has only been out for 3 years. That's a very young life cycle for a game console of all things.
March.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not even 3 years yet. It's still chugging along. So it's starting to like, hey.
It is, yeah. And I hope that we're correct in that like assumption. That's where they're going. I'm not pissed that we don't have it right now. I'm pissed. It's just more of like a complaint. I hope that that's what happens. Like,
Like, I do too. That'd be cool.
It better happen, kind of a thing. Like that'll be my kind of complaint if it doesn't.
Yeah,
because I want these kind of older legacy titles that were either, shoved onto handhelds and have just been trapped there.
Yeah.
Or, do expand the NES and the Super NES selection that they already have.
Yeah.
And then add like a 64 one so I could play.
A Super Mario 64 Mario.
Yeah, or if they did like a GameCube emulator, so I can play like Mario Sunshine or something like that. And then on top of it, get third-party support where you can get older games on that platform.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know. Any more complaints? Can't quite think of any right now.
No, like I said, my two big ones is like I want more Super Mario World-esque Mario games. Jumpman. No, not Jumpman. It's Mario.
Okay, Mario.
And then I want more Donkey Kong.
Mine is quit fucking with Zelda and quit fucking with Pokemon. Just make them different games.
Yeah. I do like that Pokemon came to the Switch, though. They don't really have
I didn't like that.
Active handheld, but...
I didn't say I didn't like that because it's technically handheld.
It is,
that's fine. That doesn't bother me.
There'd be no other platform to put it on for Nintendo right now.
And I see their transition of making it the Switch the handheld and then kind of the different cycles, but I'm just saying quit fucking with the gameplay.
I agree.
All right, I think that's a pretty good wrap. Any housekeeping?
Yeah, so 64-Bits of Rage is now available on Spotify, iTunes,
TD Sparkler, yeah!
Google Play Music, YouTube, and Castbox. So you can now listen to 64-Bits of Rage.
Everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere. At least on the really big platforms. So
everywhere.
If you've been listening since our inaugural episode on a more obscure service like Castbox or just YouTube,
It'd be
and you
everywhere too.
prefer to listen to it on iTunes or Google Play, you can.
It's going to be everywhere as well.
Yeah. I find myself personally listening to podcasts by jockeying back and forth between Castbox, because that's our home. Spotify now. I really like how our podcast looks on Spotify.
It's gorgeous on there.
It updates more quickly than iTunes once the episodes are posted, and then it's a free service to use. So
yep.
You can connect it to your Google speaker or your Amazon one and listen to it that way while you're tooling around the house or in your car, on a commute or whatever, going back and forth between work. You can listen to 64 Bits of Rage. And then we've got t-shirts rolling out.
Yep, we do. They're in prototype mode at the moment, but we will be rolling out with some t-shirts.
Yeah, so you should be able to get a 64 Bits of Rage t-shirt shortly.
64 Bits of Rage.
Yeah, it'd be super cool. I really like the design of it, too.
It's gorgeous. It's awesome.
It's very old school, very kind of 32-bit style, so, which is awesome.
It's going to be great. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. We're available everywhere. We're going to have some merch rolling out.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it.
The gist of the gistiness. That sounded juicier. That sounded juicier than I meant for it to be. But...
Juicy couture.
Oh, God. No, we're not bringing that back. That's not going to be across the butts of things. 64 Bits of Rage on your ass? No.
Oh, we should make fun of it. Well, at least maybe for Rage Quit we will. Or Fucking Great Games.
Yeah.
Fucking Great Games would probably be good. Right across your ass. Boom, yoga pants.
Yoga pants. Nope.
It'd be great if that sold out. Like nothing else does. But just as a gag.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be super funny.
All right, well.
I love that.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ariel Schultz.
I'm Anthony Schultz.
As always, follow the bear.
Peace.